If you've upgraded the Fireball, I've got amazing news for you. No one in Legends League is defending this OP hero equipment, and today I'm going to show you how to get to 6,000 trophies easily with this cheat code. Alright, the first attack here is going to be on a double rage diamond base, but don't worry, the last 3 attacks of this video will be on the new meta ring bases and how you can use this attack strategy here to hard counter them. Now, in terms of fireball strategies, I don't think ZAP fireball's necessarily the strongest, but here's how I'd put it, right? The fireball is strong, ZAPs are strong, and root riders are strong, and if you use all 3 of them together really smartly, you're going to get a great outcome. Now, I have done a video on this attack strategy before, so I'm not going to go too much into the simplicities of it. Rather, we're going to talk about how to take down difficult bases and a few of the new approaches I've done since then, because if we'll pause it quickly here, we did zap the Eagle and the Rage Tower, always insane value, but I had a look at this base and have a look at it here. Not really much fireball value. All the valuable defenses are spread throughout the base. So what I'm looking at here is because all the defenses are spread, there isn't a lot of DPS. Now, normally when you do this attack strategy, you do your Warden walk and you'll meet, once you do your fireball, you'll bring your Warden over to your root riders and go from there. But essentially what I'm thinking at this point is if I can get my fireball to target this builder hut here, I get the monolith and I severely damage the town hall, and then I can root rider elsewhere on the base because I'm going to be able to warden walk at the town hall. So I use my one rage spell right here because a multi-archer tower and a ricochet cannon is a lot of DPS. But look, the warden's kind of chilling. We got the flame flinger on the right hand side. You've got so many super barbs in this army that your flame flinger should never get targeted by a Tesla or a mortar. And now we're just starting the root riders on the left side. There's no eagle on the base, there's no nothing. The root riders don't need the rage or the healers, they are going fine. So the wardens come in here, now dealing with the expo. So I'm not going to pop the fireball yet because the range is 4 from the expo to whatever it will target, and the monolith is currently 5 tiles away. And I'm just making sure the warden's targeting the builder hut here. As soon as he does, we pop that fireball, monolith goes down. Now the rage tower has gone off, so I'm gonna have to use my last zap spell on the town hall for my warden walk. But look at that, we have warden charged the entire bottom side of the base, and whilst it looks like the root riders struggle, I mean, this army is all about your heroes. I've still got my royal champion. I could have swagged her. She's on the top side, barely taking any DPS. I've just used my king ability. I'm yet to use the queen ability, and that right there is the power of the warden charge. So bases, generally there's 2 types of bases. One with lots of compact damage in areas, which means your fireball is going to get insane value if you can get it to the right spot. Or bases like this where it's just spread out, and on these bases, we're going to warden charge the whole thing and give the base no chance to take him down. This hit, you're going to learn something very important about these zap spells. So we're doing the warden walk down the bottom, but have a look here. So it is possible for me to get the multi-archer tower and the scatter shot with a zap quake here. It is the maximum range of the lightning spells, 3 tiles across and 2 tiles in the other direction. But to do this, my earthquake has to touch both of them. Have a look at these builder huts. There is 4 builder huts over here, and all they have to do is run over, and I believe only one of them touches the eagle. But that is enough to keep it up, so you need to be really careful. I kind of hate how Supercell does this, where if a builder hut touches the monolith or the eagle, it will repair. I know it adds a different layer of skill to the game, but it makes it super frustrating. So the zap I went for is not possible, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, these style of bases here are terrible for my zap fireball army, because it's really hard to get your fireball to the core of the base. Now, those old school Invis bases, which have massive dead zones, you know, like 10, 15 tile dead zones, those are much easier because you can clear the outer ring and get the fireball to target the inside easier. Whereas this, the dead zone's smaller, so there's more buildings around it, makes it very hard to target the core. Now, I could have used the fireball right now, but all I get is the scatter. The CC's already come out, and it's a little bit pointless. So I'm kind of changing up on the fly. However, with the scatter and the expo here, both on my warden, I don't know if my warden can survive. So what I'm doing is starting my root riders, but I do not want my warden to come over to the root riders here. I'm hoping they're out of range. Now, unfortunately, the warden comes over, but have a look at this. the defensive CC keeps stalling the Warden. And look, the CC pulls away, and for a second, I'm really excited, and then the Queen gets in the way. Unfortunately, the Warden will come over to the Queen. Now, what I wanted with the Fireball was to target this Ricochet Cannon, because then I get Monolith, Ricochet Cannon, Warden Altar, and then my Warden could have really easily Warden walked the Town Hall after that, and he would have had the pathing to do so. But now we're coming in with our Mass Root Rider, we're sitting on the Warden ability, but it's not the Eternal Tome. And I wanted to show you this attack because, don't get me wrong, right? This attack strategy is definitely way more powerful because of the Root Riders. But I don't want you to think of this as like a pure spam fest. It's not like the other 90% of Legends who's, you know, doing overgrowth and spam Root Rider. Like, there is a bit of flexibility with how you do this army. Look at that. I pop the Warden ability now. After the Town Hall, we get rid of the back end Monolith, Warden, and we are going to push through here. Now, this is not how I'd recommend doing this. Obviously, better to get your Fireball off, then pull it over. But there are different ways you can do this attack strategy, and I really wanted to show this. But I'm sure you're all curious about how to use this attack strategy on some of the new meta double Invis bases. Don't worry, we've got 2 attacks to finish up the video on that. This here, by the way, this is the triple that got me my perfect day yesterday. I didn't think I was going to get the triple at the start, but you got to believe in the power of the Fireball. Here is the sort of meta bases you will see at 6,000 trophies, these double Invis core bases. But the first generation of these bases with the super small cores and the massive dead zones, they're gone, and they were really easy for my ZAP Fireball. You'd zap one Invis tower and Fireball the other, and that's still the strategy I'm going for here. But getting your Fireball in a position to get to the core is much more difficult. So we got the Warden on the bottom side. Now, generally on these types of bases, I really want to get a Flame Flinger going, because a lot of the time you'll have the Expos in the core, so it's quite easy to get some nice Flame Flinger value. So we're going to use Flame Flinger on the left side. I don't even know if it gets a shot off. Yeah, rip there. But you've got 8 super buffs with this army, keep that in mind, and a couple of balloons. So there's no reason that Teslas, giant bombs, skelly traps on the outside of the base should surprise you. You've even got a Valk as well to deal with skeleton traps. Well, you've got 5 of them, but you do want to use most of them with your Valk push, or Root Rider push, I should call it. So we're coming in with the Warden Walk on the bottom. Now, the reason I haven't used the zaps yet is obviously we're going to zap out one Invis tower and Fireball the other, but I don't know which way my Warden's going. I have put him on the right side of center here, so I'm thinking he will go to the right, but I don't know for sure. Until I know for sure, there's no need for me to zap. Also, remember, if you zap Quake and you damage a building that you're then going to hit with your Fireball, the Quake after your Fireball, I know this is confusing, will get less value. Even if the building gets repaired to full, if you Quake a building once, it gets repaired. Quake it again, it will do less on the second Quake, because it's the second Quake, irrespective of the fact that it is full HP. Hopefully that kind of makes sense to you. So the later you do the Zap Quake, the better. So notice, I'm just going for the single Inferno here. I'm going to sit on 2 Zap spells, because I just want the single and the Invis Tower. Those are the anti-Root Rider buildings for me. Now we're going to do our hero push on the complete other side of the base, because I need my Warden to get into position, and look at that. He obeys really nicely, goes straight in there, but then he's back to the outside of the base, and the good thing about the outside of the base, well, there's not enough DPS there to take him down, so I'm going to use the Rage spell on my Root Riders on the top side to help them get through the CC. We got the Yeti from the Flame Flinger on the left side, and you'll find a lot with this attack strategy that the Root Riders die kind of quick, because they don't have the Warden, they don't have the Healing Tome. They aren't expected to live forever, but they don't need to. They just need a tank long enough. They also opened up the core of the base. Unfortunately, I did a wall break here, which meant that the king did not go to the core, so that was a little silly by me. But we've got the RC on the bottom side, Warden on the top side, and we're just putting our cleanup around. Now, this attack strategy can definitely get close on time, so you have to keep that in mind, but just pace yourself. Don't rush it. Make sure you maximize your Fireball, and if you maximize your Fireball with this attack strategy, it is really hard to fail. In fact, it's basically impossible to fail. The Fireball is ridiculous in this meta. Final attack of the video, and this is the different style of double Invis where it's not an isolated core, it's just a really toxic base. This base got a 1-star defense in the golden ticket qualifier this month, so you're definitely going to see a lot of it in Legends League, so I decided to show it. Now, this is a gutsy attack here. because this Flame Flinger is a little bit risky. You see, in a second, there is 2 expos here by the Eagle Artillery. Now, I need my Warden to tank both of them here. The plan is to get my Warden charged to that scatter shot you see below the Town Hall, use the Fireball there, and you'll get both scatters, multi-Invis tower, but you'll also get one added benefit that we'll wait till it happens before I tell you about it. So Warden charge coming in here. The mortar is on my Warden for the second, but does switch off. I use a super bub just to make sure that the mortar doesn't shoot. Now you'll notice the expo is going to come onto my Warden here, but my Warden's stepping down for the Tesla. This plan actually might be better if I flip it, because there normally isn't a Tesla on the other side of the other base, so you could use the Flame Flinger to get that, and that way your Warden doesn't go downwards. So I used the Rage spell here. Now, I didn't know my Warden was going to go for the scatter there, so I didn't pop the Fireball. I wasn't sure. I used the Freeze just to be 100% sure, and now we've got the Double Quake. Look at that. We get rid of both scatters. We damage the defensive RC. The Warden's on the other expo, but we activate the other Invis tower. Because the Fireball damages the Town Hall, we activate the Invis tower. The Warden takes the Town Hall down, and I mean, this is over. This base is completely and utterly crushed at this point in time. Now, this here is where you don't really need the Zap Quake. Look, I like the Zap Quake because it allows you so many options. You can get rid of, like in the first attack, you saw Eagle Artillery. You can use it a lot of the time to get rid of the second Invis tower. Makes it a whole lot easier. But if you want to bring more Rages and Freezes, and maybe a Skeleton spell, by all means, that way you can do a proper Warden charge on the base. But I love the Zap Quake because I have the Zap Quake here, I make this attack unfailable. I get rid of the Monolith and the Multi-Inferno, and there's not enough on this base to take down my troops. I cannot fail. This is unfailable at this point in time. And that's what I love about this attack strategy. But let me know down in the comments right now. A, would you like to see more Fireball stuff on the channel? I love the Fireball, so I'll more than happily use it. But B, what Fireball armies do you want? For instance, there is a guy, Spang, in the top 100 at the moment, using the double hero charge, so 9 healers with a Fireball and a Queen charge, and he's going really well. I'm going to try and get him on the channel, so if you'd like to see that, let me know. But would you like to see more Super Witch stuff, more Jelly stuff? The game's closing, so is this video. Have a nice day.